Well, hello, everybody, and where you at? This is number 6 team preview, 6 of 32, the Los Angeles Rams, and it's here on bet.nola.com, powered by the Dattitude Podcast. I am Jim Derry, and what's there not to like about the Los Angeles Rams? They just won the Super Bowl. Oh, wait a minute. You said that wasn't last year? That was 2 years ago? Maybe I was like Sleeping Beauty or something. Maybe I just missed last year. What the hell happened to the Los Angeles Rams? And can they make a comeback? All things to talk about. You may be surprised. It's coming up next. Okay, so the Los Angeles Rams, they are not coming off the greatest season in team history. One of the greatest seasons in team history was the year before that, obviously, when they won the Super Bowl over the Cincinnati Bengals. And, I really thought that one of the teams, either the Rams or the Bengals, would kind of maybe take a giant step back. Well, I was wrong on which one it was. I really thought the Bengals would take a little bit of a step back, and the Rams would be the ones that would kind of stay even-keeled. I didn't think they'd win the Super Bowl again, but I thought they would be up there hanging tight with the 49ers all the way through the season. It never materialized. Everything kind of went south early on. Cooper Kupp got hurt. Matthew Stafford got hurt. Aaron Donald was banged up. And now they lose Jalen Ramsey. They lose Bobby Wagner. They lose Leonard Floyd. They lose Allen Robinson. So this team's going to be terrible, right? Not so fast, my friends. I think they're going to, well, let's call it a gut. Let's call it intuition. Let's call it whatever you want. I'm going to go through and make the case why I think the Rams are actually going to be better than a lot of people think they are. We'll see at the end how good I think they're going to be. But let's just say, I think that 6.5 you see on the screen there for their win total, I think that may be a little low. Now, look, if you look at their offensive numbers, 27th in rushing, 27th in passing, which adds up to a big, fat 32nd overall offense, that means they were the worst offensive team in the NFL. But they were without their quarterback for more than half the year. Again, without Cooper Kupp. What is Matt Stafford going to do different this year? Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Well, I actually like their offensive line. You Coleman Shelton, their right guard, and Havenstein on at right tackle. I like the tackle positions, and I like the fact that you see on your screen there that their first pick of their draft, Steve Avila, is going to play guard on the left side. And I like the pick. They needed to shore up the offensive line. They actually had quite a few picks that I think end up going to make in this team. They had a lot of picks. Even though they didn't have a first-round pick, they had 10 or 12, I think, overall throughout the draft. They had 2 or 3 fifth-round picks. I think they had 3 sixth-round picks to go with it, including a couple of compensatory picks. Again, losing everything they've lost, it's going to hurt them. But I tell you, where's my surprise? I think Matt Stafford, assuming he can stay healthy, and when you get to his age, obviously he was never really a mobile quarterback. Can he get back to that quarterback that throws for 4,000 yards? Can Cooper Kupp stay healthy? A huge question. He was able to do so 2 years ago, the Super Bowl year. He's going to have to because this team is super thin. They don't have a lot. There's no question. But where my surprise comes in is Cam Akers, the running back. Remember a couple years ago, even during the Super Bowl year, Cam Akers got in Sean McVay's doghouse. And I'm not sure why. I don't think we ever really found out why, but we saw what he could do last year. He kind of took some things on his own, and he had a pretty good season. I think he's going to be one of those surprise players. I think he's going to be one of those guys that we're talking about at the end of the season. Cam Akers made a huge difference. I think this running game is going to be much better than it was, and it's going to help Matt Stafford, and it's going to help maybe a mediocre wide receiver group that it also includes tight end Tyler Higbee, who's also getting a little bit long in the tooth, shall we say. On the defensive side of the ball, talking about long in the tooth, look, I don't care how long in the tooth he is. I don't care if his tooth touches the ground. Aaron Donald is still the man. And until he proves that he's no longer the man, somebody's going to have to knock him off that pedestal because I think he's a stud. And look, they got a linebacker, a guy that on the edge that's going to be able to force a lot of pressure also in the draft. Kobe Turner, this guy is massive, and he's going to make a big difference for defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. Speaking of Raheem Morris, he's going to get another shot at a head coaching job. I don't know if he can pull this more. You see that number down there, 19th. They were 19th in defense last year with all the problems that they had. If they can get that up, and I know you're saying they lost Ramsey, they lost Floyd, they lost Bobby Wagner, who's also getting older. I still think they can be pretty good. Surprise team, the Los Angeles Rams. We're going to go to the schedule, and we're going to see why I'm a little optimistic. Now, look, you look at the first 3 games, the first 4 out of 5, really. This team easily could be 1-4 after the October 8th game, but I think they're going to pull one of those out. I think they're going to give you a surprise win, maybe the opener at Seattle, maybe it's San Francisco that's still in turmoil early on. But let's say they go 2-3. They get through that early tough stretch, including a Monday night game at Cincinnati, 2-3. Then they got Arizona. That should be a win. Pittsburgh easily could be a win at home. At Dallas, at Green Bay. Maybe you call one of those wins an upset. I'm not sure whether there would be or not. And then they get a nice spot for a bye week, right at week, 7, 8, 9, 10. Week 10 is a good spot for a bye week right in the middle of the season. Come back. You got Seattle, a team they can beat, at Arizona, Cleveland, at Baltimore, Washington, the Saints on a Thursday night. I don't like the fact that they go on the road on New Year's Eve and the last 2 games of the season, as a matter of fact, playing at the Giants and at San Francisco. But all of that being said, I don't think that schedule's that tough. Hence, it is the 16th toughest schedule in the NFL, which means it's right smack dab in the middle. Prediction, please. Here comes the surprise. I've been kind of leaning towards it the whole show so far. I think they're going to go 8-9. I think there's a chance they go 9-8, which may, and here's another surprise, that may be good enough to win this division. First of all, my big bet, and I rarely do 2 bets. In fact, I think this may be the first time I've done 2 best bets with one team in 3 years. But I like the over 6.5 wins. In fact, I love the over 6.5 wins. And then I think a couple bucks on value. I think the Rams will finish second, Jim Derry. Well, I mean, San Francisco and Seattle clearly are going to finish 1-2 in this division. It might even be Seattle. It might be San Francisco. We don't know, but they're definitely 1-2. You wait and see what I have coming up. I told you we're going to have some surprises. All of that would not surprise me at all if the Rams won this division. And I don't necessarily think they're going to, but I think that is fantastic value. Plus 850 for the Rams to win this division. If this defense plays like I think they're going to play, and if Cam Akers takes the next step like I think he's going to do, and this O-line holds up, I know a whole lot of ifs, but I'm telling you, plus 850 is the value. Go out and get you some. You can thank me later. I told you 2 years ago, only made one future on a Super Bowl bet. It was the Los Angeles Rams. They came through for me. I'm trusting them again. I love the over 6.5 and a couple bucks as I go for Clem. That means it's time to stop talking on the winning division. Tomorrow, it's the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see what we have in store for them. They are kind of a mess, aren't they? We'll find out tomorrow.